1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, sure.
Take 3, that looks good. Coming to you. Ready, 3, and take 2. On 2. 2, you're live.
Jackass!
All right. Welcome to a new season of Showtech Show.
Yes.
Isn't it very high-tech with our virtual set, Scott?
I look huge.
You are huge, Batman. I'm Rick Carr, your host for the Showtech Show tonight, alongside my co-host, Scott, the LD Davis. And on the board tonight, we've got Jordan Incognito.
Incognito very well.
Rocking
Yep.
without a camera shot on him, but we'll be talking
pictured.
about sponsorship opportunities later in the show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the future. It's 2015, so we thought it was high time we took a look at AV technology and the things we know and love and what the state of affairs are here in the 21st century. Also, in honor of Valentine's Day, a little bit on the challenges of finding love as a roadie in this biz on the road. Before we get into that, though, let's go around table. This is our first show back, so I wanted to take a little opportunity to do some quick cast bios and let you people know who you're listening to. Scott, let's lead off with you, man. What's your background? Tell people about who you are, what you do, what's your jam.
I do it all.
He does it all.
Do it all. No.
All right, next week we've got.
What do I do? I'm a lighting designer mostly. I direct shows, live theater.
A lot of
Used
theater.
to tour a lot.
Yeah.
Like that. That was a lot of fun.
What kind of gigs do you do touring? What kind of gigs did you not do touring?
From concerts to psychics. I've done it all.
Psychics.
Psychics, yes, psychics.
Big lighting budget. The paranormal community.
No.
No. Okay. No.
No, how about you? What do you do?
Me? I'm also a jackass of all trades, I guess you could say. Thank you. Yeah. I make my trade usually as a video engineer on shows, so just setting up all the digital imaging and projection and all that good stuff. Try to put my hand in a little bit. You might also know me from the Lone Star Webcast Network, if you've ever seen that on the internet.
I don't think anyone has.
Anyone? Yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm the managing producer for this little venture, so hopefully you'll be able to see more of me in the new year as we're producing more live content out here. But yeah, that's
Where do you work full time?
I work for a major hospital corporation here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as their on-site media nerd.
And I run my own business, Davis Lighting Designs.
Yes, let's get the plug in there, davislightingdesigns.com.
Concerts, anything that you need, just call. Now, what do you do, Jordan?
Jordan, do you hear us?
Yeah, so I am more of a camera op slash jib op slash video person, video engineer. I'm basically mostly in the video world with a side of audio and lighting. Very little, not that much.
So we got the right guy running the board tonight.
Yeah,
then.
you do. It still says it's streaming. It still says recording. So I think we're
Apparently
good right
everything's
now.
still working.
And
So
I can
all right.
hear the mics, so that must be a good sign.
Yeah, if we can hear it, there's a
I'm
good
doing
chance that
pretty
other people can
good.
hear it too. So yeah, you're a camera guy. You
I do some editing on the side as well, do some traveling and stuff like that.
okay?
So,
a lot of freelance work in the mix.
A lot
there.
of freelance in the mix for networks and other places of business
Cool.
that has many businesses around the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
So Jordan, Scott, and Rich,
Wonderful.
we're kind of your the core of the Showtech Show here, and we've got a lot of other friends in the community as well. So we'll try to have some of them on from time to time. Everybody from your sound engineers to your drapists. We'll try to get a little bit from the entire Showtech world as we talk about the different topics that we move through. But first up, the thing we like to do is a little look at the news that's happening this week that's been going on, and a little segment we like to call Next.
Next!
All right, that was great.
Well, that was quick and easy. I like that.
Yeah, right? Little quick bumper. So, let's see. Jordan, did you want to lead off with a topic tonight? We'll let you kick this sucker off.
Since the last time that we did this airing, I think it was probably back in February. It's probably about a year ago the last time we did this. Scott over here has now went from the Android. Yes, you have now went from the Android to the new Apple iPhone. He got the iPhone 6.
Joining the cult of Mac.
Yeah, which some people that are another part of the A team here that's not with us right now is a big hater on the Apple, the iPhone, and all that other stuff. But you're different. You have gone from the Android to the iPhone, and a big transition, hasn't it been?
It's been huge. It's been rough to learn all the shortcuts.
Valentine's Day special.
It's like going from like a Mac to a PC or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a different language, even though it does the same principles.
It's a different language. It's a different world, but I've loved it. It's
Really?
I wouldn't go back.
Not ever looking back in the Android world again.
No.
Windows Phone? Think you might ever try out the old Windows phone?
Nope. No, I'm done. I'm actually done with Microsoft products.
Yeah, I've seen that you've been like going with like the
That
Apple
comes
TV
with the Apple world. I have no words.
It's been strange because once I got the iPhone, I started integrating the rest of the house.
Yeah.
The Apple TV,
Nice.
the computer, all that stuff is slowly switching over to Apple.
Got the Apple Watch.
That's coming.
The Apple
I heard
Nexus.
that was coming.
It should
Yeah.
be coming out some by the first quarter or something like that.
Yeah, I'm ready to dig on that.
Well, you're a recent convert to all this, but Jordan here is probably our in-house Apple
Yeah, I've
guru,
been
so
with-
if there's
I've
Apple
been with
news, rest
Apple
assured we'll be covering
for a
it
while.
ad nauseum. So enjoy that.
Yeah, I've been with Apple for a while, so I mean, I did my tenure with Android for a while, and it didn't
It's always
really-
it's
and
really-
I'm trying to bash Android. Android's a great phone, It's you know,
right.
it goes back to the user preference. Who
Android's
Really.
easy, but
and there's a lot of things that you can do with Android that you can't do with iPhone.
yeah.
I'm an Android guy. I still am. I'm working an old Sprint Evo, and I'm actually a big iPhone Apple advocate. I think they're good. I don't. The only reason I don't have one right now is because when my last phone was getting ready to crap out, I knew it was about 2 months before the next iPhone was coming out, so I didn't want. That didn't count as next, by the way. Don't say that. That's a shtick, by the way. Is when we say next, the bit's over.
My finger was almost about to click
All
the video.
And
But anyway, I would be an iPhone guy because the system, iOS is great. It's flawless. It works really well. It does everything I needed to do. It's just I didn't want to be the guy who bought one 10 minutes before the new one came out. So
Yeah.
that's why I bought this one when it came out.
yeah, no, like literally,
I know-
my old
I know
phone,
I've
like the
got-
power charger, like the plug-in died, and I was like, well, I have to have a phone, so
I know I've got at least a year before they come out with a new phone, so I'll feel good for a year.
yeah, there you go. See, how's that?
But at the same token, with my Androids, more than 5 programs on it, it starts getting slow. It finally got to the point of every time I opened up Facebook, I had to restart my phone.
I will say my
I don't need
my
that.
2-year-old HTC One, they did just update it to Android Lollipop, which is kind of nice. So I'm getting to explore the latest version. I've never had the latest version of Android on one of my phones because I'm just that cheap. But I'm enjoying it so far.
Lollipop.
Lollipop. Well, that's another good bonus of Android is you get cute snack names every time they upgrade the operating
See,
system.
but you say that you're cheap. I went with Sprint.
Yeah.
I paid $299 for this phone. I got 64 gig, and I pay $65 a month.
Yeah, I mean that's really not awful. I think I have to say I paid less than that for my Android, but I mean, I wish I could have paid that for. Is that a 6?
Mm-hmm.
iPhone 6? Yeah, I mean, I wish I could have. I just
A person in the chat room, I'm just going to say this, the person that's in the chat room right now, his name is Bells AG. He says he likes iPhones.
great comment.
Thank you, Wells.
Bells AG.
Next!
No, that's a good. Okay, that's perfect.
Thank you. I was seriously about to next my own cell phone.
There you go. All right, well, I'll take over from this one. This is, I don't know if
Thanks,
Jordan, if you can
Bells.
pull it up, but this is a neat article I read on, I believe it was Engadget a couple weeks ago, about it's kind of a test initiative, a beta of a streaming virtual reality system. So here at the Lone Star, we try to be pretty forward-looking and future-facing and try to explore all those new technologies and think about what tomorrow's mass media is going to be as far as visual. I've always been kind of a big critic of things, hokey things like 3D. I don't think there's a real serious future for flat panel 3D content.
Next!
Sorry.
Is that real, or you just?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a mistake on the
Yeah.
engineering part. Right
All right.
there.
Like I said, Jordan's new on the board.
New on
I was
the-
gonna say, it's like, wow, it wasn't that bad of a story. It was actually kind of cool.
Some of it was weird. He just didn't want to cue out.
Anyway, I'll cut to the chase. But the bit
No,
here
keep on
is
taking on your
these
time.
guys are working on a way to send a basically the Google Street View 3D a video feed. So it's a camera that's got the little hyperbolic lens on it that's can see everything, and all that data is being sent to the recipients on the other end. There's people watching the stream tonight, like you folks out there watching us tonight. You would actually have real-time controls where then you could steer around your point of view in this 3D space. So,
We would have to have viewers for that.
well, if we could do stuff like this, absolutely we would. But imagine hanging one of these cameras upside down over a hockey game, for example, and people can they can follow the action of the puck. They can say, hey, what's going on down with that end? You know, what's going on with the power play? Look wherever you want. Hey, who's that broad in the third row of the stands? You have the control of the viewing experience, and everybody has an independent view. I just think that's the coolest thing in the world. That's a great... Now, that has some legs. I could see that if the bandwidth is there, if the compression makes it come off in high definition and beautiful, which apparently it does. From what I read from this Engadget article, it was ridiculous. That might be how you're watching television down the road, folks, not necessarily...
like virtual reality.
Yeah, and not with a big goofy, I mean, I guess theoretically that was how this was. He had VR goggles on. So it was, not only was it, click and drag, look around the screen, but it was literally like turn your head and you're in that environment live.
I see. I don't even like going to watch 3D movies at the theater because I hate wearing glasses. If I can find like something like a hologram that I don't have to wear glasses, I'd be fine.
Yeah, so I think that's cool. I mean, there's a few other camera innovations I've seen in the last few years, like the Lytro system. I don't know if you guys remember that. That's one similar. It's a light field camera. I'm going to get nerdy here, so if you want to next me on that, just let me know. But you take the picture, and then after the fact, you can decide where you want the focus to be. So if you've got something right up close, like somebody holding a flower up to the lens, and you want to focus right on the petals of that flower, or if you want to rack focus and see who's breaking into the window over one street behind you, you can do that after the photo's already been taken. There's all that extra information recorded within it. That's kind of cool if they could ever adapt that to video. Same thing where the viewers could choose what they're looking at versus just what a director of photography says they're looking at or somebody framed it. I think there's still going to be a job role for people who do that artistically and for dramatic things that have particular looks and framing. But I think I've always been a guy who says live is the future of television. And something like this technology where you can stream virtual reality, a live, actual, real-life environment to a mass audience.
I don't disagree. I think you're right. It's going to end up being what we watch in the future. But I mean, in what you said, it brings questions to my head about artists losing jobs because things are becoming automated. And I was reading in one of my articles the other day that they've now got this Jimmy Jib that's totally automated. It's got sensors. It stops going down if it's going to hit something. We're going to put people out of work.
Yeah, that is true. There's anytime new technology comes along, it destabilizes the market.
It's with all cameras and stuff like that. Cameras that follow a pin in a person's jacket, that eliminates 3 or 4 people. If one person can control 5 cameras with a robo system, that's saving somebody money. But also,
already seen
it's
it.
hurting people like me, who's a camera op, trying to get out there, trying to make income, and it's killing all of us. With even the thing with lighting and stuff like that, with everything going fully automated, and also with people doing cheaper budgets, it's going to everybody's wanting to get cheaper budget, but it's like we can't in this world. We cannot go cheaper. This is the way tech is. It's like tech's an expensive budget.
Yeah, well, call me Mr. Optimistic, but I would hope that there's room for both jobs and the new technology moving forward, because I think it's going to enable you to tell a much more rich story and give more information to a viewing audience that you wouldn't otherwise be able to, even if you had 1 million camera operators. And I still think there's going to be times when you're going to not want that sort of technology to be the presentation, or you're going to want something that's more controlled and focused, and you don't necessarily want the camera to see what the president's doing behind the stage as he comes up to speak at the podium. I mean, there's still going to be application. Just call me crazy. It just seems like ubiquitous viewing wouldn't always be great, but
I mean, at this point in time, people out there are staring at my balls.
I know I'm captivated. Next.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Next!
All right, yeah. So Scott, you're up now. Tell us about the latest innovation in LED ellipsoidals from our friends over at Source 4, or ETC?
ETC. ETC has come out with their Source 4 Series 2, which is a ellipsoidal-based body. Actually, what's neat about it is that it can be anything. It can be a Cyclite, it could be a Source 4, it could be a Fresnel. All depends on what aperture you put in front of it. As far as ordering it goes, you could buy just the
Don't try to do that.
body,
We're not weather guys. We can't do this.
or you could buy the full lens tube. Yeah. What's neat about it is the Series 2 you can get with the Luster series of diodes, which gives you red, blue, and green, but it also gives you a white,
Amber?
it gives you an amber, it gives you a cyan, and it gives you indigo.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
all
cool.
of a sudden you've got the ability to make any color in the spectrum. In if you go to ETC's website, they've got a PDF which actually charts out the transmission level of each color that Roscoe makes, or of select colors that Roscoe makes, and inevitably there's only about 2 colors that the regular Source 4 beats it in, as far as brightness goes. So this is big technology in our field, that's coming to the forefront, because before we didn't have ellipsoidals that were bright enough for us to use in long throw scenarios for theater. So buying the ellipsoidals was just, you were buying an overpriced toy.
60 LED array.
I never really thought about that. Every time I've looked at these LED fixtures, I've just been kind of wowed by the ability to change color on the fly and do that in a really directional manner. But yeah, you're right. It's really taken what this kind of generic fixture is and given it so much more range.
Yeah, and that's the Source 4 is the staple of theater. But what they've gone and done with this is they've built a Cyclite attachment for the front. So now you can take your Source 4 and turn it into a Cyclite. You can take your Source 4, turn it into a Fresnel. It's opened up the opportunity to do tremendous things with an instrument. And like I said, you can buy just the engine. So if you've already got Source 4s, all you have to do is buy the engine and attach it to the body and the barrel.
Like you're saying, your lighting house is already pretty heavily leveraged in Source 4 gear, so that's brilliant. You can scale up to this new technology at whatever return on investment makes sense to you guys and be taking advantage. And I, from an engineering point of view, I love this stuff because I mean, behind the scenes tip here, we're actually sitting under some hot ass like 150 watt floodlight bulbs right now. Yeah, this is awful. Imagine if these could all be cool, eco-friendly LED lights that we could not only just have a light on us, but at the touch of a button, we could put us into whatever kind of scene mode we want.
And you can also think LEDs are cost efficient. You know, how much electricity is being burned right now because of these really hot ass lamps.
Burned bulbs, runtime. I mean,
reduction of heat. Your diodes last 15 years. Think about the savings. Think about the I mean, I spend 35.
Think about the children.
Well, so I've been to studios where we actually, most of the television studios where we keep the thermostat down to 65 degrees.
Yeah.
In order to compete with these 1,000 watt, 2,000 watt fixtures That's their output. But if we all went LEDs, we can, people are coming into the studio. They bundle up with jackets because they're so cold, but we had to keep it cold.
Yeah,
because of people on the stage. But if we can go all LED, we can raise the temperature up, save electricity because we're not competing and
It's kind of like that Futurama where he's driving around on Venus in a convertible, but he's got the air conditioner up at full blast, but it's too cold, so he turns the heater up full blast too to match it.
And that's but that's things that people have to do right now to survive with what they've got. I know several mega churches that crank it down to 65 degrees before their 1,800 parishioners come walking in, and create body heat, and then the lights come on and create body heat. One of the churches I used to work at, it was 75 degrees by the end of the service. We started at 62.
Yeah. There's got to be a better way.
There's got to be a better way, and as I said, ETC has come up with it. This is really the most incredible ellipsoidal out there right now, which has a lot of people talking. Now the base price, you're still talking about $2,200 for the engine.
The engine alone, yeah.
But just imagine how much you're saving in the in run of years and years, because the life that has is, I think what it says is, 20,000 hour LED life, and that's 20,000 hours to 70% intensity.
Yeah.
But usually with regular incandescent lamps or stuff like that, you're changing out 2 or 3 times a year. If it's a light studio, if it's a heavy studio, you're changing it more and more, probably 10 times a year.
And you can buy this in their Luster series, which is the 7 colors that we talked about earlier. You can buy it in their Studio series, which is all white. You can buy it in their Fire and Ice series, which is mainly reds or mainly blues.
Interesting.
So depending on what you're going to use it for, it's very versatile.
And you're not spending money on gels.
The thing that I look at is I spend $200 on gels every show.
Well, you make a good point, though, and that's something I did want to bring up, is this technology change. It's nice to be able to take advantage of these things, but there's a lot of gel out there that's going to be out of work. I mean, it's just, we got to think about that part of the economy. Like what are all these
our
colored pieces of plastic going to do?
But
Sorry, Roscoe.
Roscoe and the others. But
Next!
All right. Yeah. Okay, so I've
Those
got...
are really nice graphics.
Thank you.
You must have had Jordan make them.
no.
Jackass. Jordan, did you have any other topics you want to bring up? I've got a couple more.
Harvin was keying on that lighting topic. Harvin, who's watching right now.
One of our loyal watchers.
Well, watchers. He's
been with us
also
all
on the
episode
A
this
team.
season.
He's a master drapist.
Confirmed
So
rapist.
he said in the chat that all you need is uplighting.
Uplighting. I got you uplighting.
That comes from a master drapist.
There you go. Yeah. Light my drape. All right. Well,
you're also going to talk about what the FCC came out with today, this new drone law.
you want to go to that one? Okay. So
let's do
this
that.
is breaking today. Actually, the Department of Transportation and the I believe it's the FAA, not the FCC.
Yeah.
Federal Aviation Administration.
One of those government agencies.
They have a press release out today talking about a proposal that they'll be putting out for new laws governing the use of drones, which I don't know if anybody out there really cares about drones, but there's some hubbub recently when the FAA announced that they were going to basically outlaw any commercial use of drone technology. So people who wanted to mount a camera on a quadcopter and use it to go out and film something and then sell that video would technically be in violation of federal aviation law. So that kind of put a lot of people up in arms, and it kind of stymied the industry a little bit, because these are not cheap. I mean, you can get some inexpensive drones, but there are $2,000, $4,000, $5,000, $8,000 camera drones out there that people are trying to use now, and it's basically a poor man's Chopper 1. This is the talk about future camera technology. This is something that was going gangbusters for a while, but when the FAA put out this advisory previously, it kind of stopped in its tracks. So now they've released this new proposal, and from what I gleaned from it, it's basically going to apply the same type of governance that the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, has for ham radio operators. So you'll go through a short class to learn some basics of aviation safety and learn some ground rules for operating drones. All common sense stuff that's not bad in any way. And you'll do that to receive an official license. You won't have to go through any other sorts of, you won't have to get any other kind of aviator's license through the FAA. This will just be a one-time thing for drone pilots, for commercial drone pilots, I guess, clearing you to be able to use that. So that's interesting because now it opens up legal avenues for companies, businesses to use these technologies and use them for professional applications legally, sports, that sort of thing. I mean,
Yeah, and
news gathering. I mean, news gathering is technically a commercial endeavor nowadays, even though it's usually done for the public good. It's done for commercials. Do we have a caller?
yeah, but we don't want to answer. That's a production company that we used to all work for.
Uh-oh.
So I'll just let that go to voicemail. Yeah,
We'll call
I
you
knew
back,
the rules are now. I read over the rules this morning when they were released about you can't fly over 500 feet and some of these kind of consumer level drones. Also, that anybody that if you're flying over people, all the people that you're flying over have to be part of your production or stuff like that. So you can't go to a public park and fly over people.
And these are all common sense rules, I think.
Well, some of them are. Some of them were
This is
kind of bull crap rules.
Does this apply to animals?
The flying of drones at places like the Grand Canyon being nixed really kind of bothers me. I mean, you've got wide open spaces where there aren't a lot of people, where it's being restricted. Why, every conspiracy theorist will come up with a different reason.
Wait, are we... Quick timeout. Scott, did your mic element fall off inside your shirt?
Well, hang on. How about now?
I can hear you now. Why'd you turn yourself off, man?
I didn't. I just kind of wiggled myself in the wrong way.
Oh.
It felt
Wiggle
good.
while you work.
So tell us more about these bullcrap rules.
So, like I said, it does outlaw the use of these in national parks. Any place that the U.S. government basically makes money off of people, they're going to outlaw these drones. And that really kind of bothers me, because there are places like the Grand Canyon where that would be something absolutely viable for a family to take a drone and get some really cool shots of them standing on top of a hill or something like that.
Well, here's a pro tip you'll only get here on the Lone Star, and I thought this was hilarious because I used to really be bothered by the original rules that they came out with because I thought that was just terrible for progress and for innovation in this space. It was just going to do bad things. But then someone brought up the fact that the FAA has no enforcement arm. There's nothing the FAA can do to you for violating the FAA laws except for pull your pilot's license. And if you don't have a pilot's license to begin with, who cares? It's not like they can tell the police to come arrest you for flying a drone. They have nothing they can do to you if you violate the law as it stands now.
That's,
Now, I mean, clearly if you fly it over the White House, they could probably do something to you, but the FAA itself can do nothing.
There's a fine line there of breaking FAA regulations and it being policed. It can be policed in... Okay. Can you still hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're
Right now? Where are you going? Come back here.
Mr. Jordan.
I had to go over here to read the chat.
Mr. Jordan.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's what the
I derailed
engineer's
you. I
for,
derailed
isn't
you.
it?
Just don't next because.
Oh no,
Yeah, we got to keep.
No,
going on
because this is actually
it's a good topic.
This is a great topic, and I've seen the FAA when I was in the Navy. I've seen the FAA rules be enforced
With an F-18?
when stupid things like a Doppler system is aimed at a landing radar at an airport. For some stupid reason. I don't know why that happened. It wasn't me, though. I didn't get arrested.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But they, there are ways to enforce it. There's just nobody to do it. That's where the federal marshals come in. So, but is the federal marshal going to go all the way to the Grand Canyon and arrest Tommy Two-Tones, who's only 6 years old, who got a drone for a gift from Grandma, because he's flying a drone over
Line them up. I don't know. It's a dubious thing. That's the point of it, is that they can make all the rules they want, but they're really kind of limited on what they can do to enforce them. So this is kind of their way to try to bring people into the legal spectrum so they have something to lose if they don't play by the rules.
And Lord knows, by the rules that are listed in there, with me, I live right by Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. If I flew a drone where I live right now under the new rules, I would be arrested.
Outdoors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I know there's a rule of like don't fly it over
500 feet.
Oh, 500 feet?
Yeah,
Okay,
and that's,
well, yeah,
that's
that
the
definitely...
class G airspace, according
Yeah.
to the FAA, is 600 feet and below. So you can basically fly in class G airspace without contacting ATC. If a drone pilot have to go above 500 feet, they need to contact the ATC for approval, which I don't think that's ever going to happen. Also, it has to be direct line of sight. You always have to have you have to visually see your drone at all times.
You know, the military doesn't have to do that.
But
Well, they
there's
see everything.
There's a bunch of rules that came out with it. I forgot some of the others.
I don't necessarily agree with all the rules. There's some that I would sit back and say yes to. But this is a better package than what they came up with the first time when they just wanted to nix them all together.
I guess that's how I feel. Yeah, I didn't like the just say no.
Now,
ruling.
it does-
That was bad.
It does still kill Amazon. And Amazon's...
They could not fly just like really low and fast.
No, because it's line of sight.
Oh,
of sight.
Because
that's true.
part
yeah.
of the
It's line of
ruling
sight.
is the line of sight thing, so they can't fly more than...
You can't
Now,
rely
riddle
on
me
the
this.
camera.
You could have a UPS-like truck driving around a neighborhood, flying it down the street, dropping off your deliveries that way.
That could be it.
I mean, right now around Christmas time, we'll have UPS come out and they'll basically deploy some teenager in a golf cart to drop off
and
cards.
that's-
So, I mean,
FedEx has been working with Honda on this automated delivery truck.
yep.
Well, how is that any different than a drone?
I've actually seen
Doesn't fly.
I've actually seen in a neighborhood that the UPS and FedEx guys share this golf cart.
Yeah.
And
Oh, they share it?
They share this golf cart. So
Is it a DHL golf cart?
No, it's not even. It's just like a regular. It's like a regular golf cart. And I was working, pulling this neighborhood, and I was with a friend, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the UPS guy." They'll
They just sit together in the front seat. You hear
they'll
Ebony and
park the
Ivory
truck.
playing.
They'll park the truck and load all the stuff in there and use the golf cart to save gas money.
Yeah.
One of our chat people asked, "Is it going to be illegal to fly a kite now? Can you get arrested for flying a kite?"
If it goes over 500
If
feet.
it goes under
Yeah,
500
it's over
feet, or you
500
lose
feet,
visual.
yeah. If you
visual
let
sign
go
it.
of the string, it's unmanned now. So.
But if you remember a video that somebody posted on YouTube when the big fog came into Dallas-Fort Worth, and he took a drone up early in the morning above the cloud line. So now that's illegal. He could get in trouble
Yeah.
for that.
It's kind of a bummer. All right, I'm going to next it.
Next.
It's about time.
I'm a noob.
Bam! All right,
Did
so
you just say I'm a newbie?
Yeah.
you're doing a great job, Jordan. You're doing a great job. Okay, last topic I had for this segment was I was just kind of my streaming video pants were excited for Sling TV, a new offering by Dish Network, I believe it is.
String people.
This is the thing that cord cutters have been asking for forever.
Sling TV's been around for a while.
Sling Box has been around forever. Sling Media, which that's that thing where you would plug into your home media center and it would...
So that you can watch it on
video.
your computer.
Yeah, this is a new offering from Dish that will allow you to basically, I think it's $20 a month, and you get 20 channels, and you get like ESPN, you get like HGTV, and some other kind of like your super, super, super light cable TV package, but without starting you off at $80 a month or whatever.
For like all these channels that you don't really watch. Like for me, I don't watch the Home Shopping Network.
No, but you're getting TBS, you're getting TNT, you're getting ESPN.
Travel Channel.
Yeah, and the sports is the main
Food
thing that I'm
Network.
saying there, because for a long time, cord cutters, people who don't want to pay for television, who want to do everything off of Netflix and who want to do everything off of Amazon and Hulu, that was the thing. It's like, man, I really want to watch College Game Day, but I can't because I don't have that. There's no internet offering for that. And that's what this is. This is a video package that's all delivered over the internet anywhere you are, mobile devices,
mobile, you
computers.
can watch it on like a
So-
Android, iPhone, iPad, Amazon Fire, or
So
whatever.
it's basically Apple TV, but
but with content that's
But
mainstream.
you can watch it. Like,
so it's Apple TV for the Microsoft folks.
no, I wouldn't say it was that.
It probably
I just-
you can watch it on Apple TV, I'd imagine. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, nobody. All right. I mean, this is kind
No,
of.
it's-
I've been
it's
without a cable
interesting.
TV subscription for 6 years.
You've been,
now.
So,
your
okay,
cord's
so-
been cut.
My sister,
Yeah.
my
Your
brother,
umbilical cord's been cut.
Yep.
my
Still sore.
my sister and brother-in-law have been off of cable now for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years. They live off of their Apple TV. They're Apple people, so that's
Well, and that can be done like with Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that.
yeah. But that Apple TV, I just bought the Apple TV
But-
not too long ago. That thing,
Apple guy.
shoot, I could get rid of my PlayStation 3 now.
Actually, that's what we do.
you
We have a PlayStation 3, and that's how we do
Yeah.
all of our streaming
I got
stuff.
a Xbox 360 where
Yeah.
I just usually play my
Xbox still
Call
makes
of Duty
you
Black
subscribe, though, right? You have to pay for a basic subscription to watch.
Yeah, but
Ops. No, not really. Oh, I have an Apple TV and a Xbox 360. The only thing I use for the Xbox 360 is like Black Ops or Grand Theft Auto 5.
I use my Apple TV for everything now,
Yeah.
and I love it.
They're pretty nice little pieces.
I use my Apple TV for Netflix. and,
Yeah, I think Apple
buy-
needs
I
to
buy
start
movies.
paying us money for advertising.
I know, right? We'll talk about that later.
Apple. Call us.
Does anybody use Apple TV for iTunes rentals?
I do.
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay. I do most of my renting through
bought,
Amazon still.
I bought
so-
movies through
I
iTunes.
I have Amazon and iTunes. I can't tell you which one I like better.
Okay.
Now that I've switched over to the Apple, the iTunes stuff is a whole lot easier. Before I found it to be really annoying and pissed me off because it would run all the time and you were Control-Alt-Deleting and shut that Apple crap off.
Yeah.
But now it's a different world. Yeah, you know, not to talk about Apple again, but it's the thing
Not
about
to bring up
Apple
too
when
much.
you switch over is that it is a lifestyle. It takes over your life, everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got the Apple cufflinks
I
now.
could turn my freaking house lights on with.
Did you put the Apple sticker on the back of your car?
No,
Oh,
I didn't
come
go
on.
that far.
Scott.
You didn't get an Apple sticker?
Scott.
Come on.
And
Scott.
and I drive a Kia Soul. It just totally deserves one.
I know.
So Metro. Come on, man.
It's what you have
great.
to have.
Come on, Scott.
Put
Put it on.
your little bike rack on
No.
the back of it.
No, I'm not going to be Jordan.
I've had the Apple
All right.
sticker
Well,
for
okay.
years.
Okay. So I feel like this. If you're a stage tech or a show guy, this topic might be a little bit off topic, but I kind of took the liberty because streaming television network kind of got a big interest in the future of streaming television. So I just want to put that one in there. But I'll go ahead and hit the next, so we
Next.
can move on.
Probably a good idea because it was a boring subject.
I was riveted. I thought it
You
was
gotta
awesome.
get more ideas about
Holy
lighting
hell,
and
man.
staging.
Well, we're going to take a brief break to have a little mention of some of our friends over at The Column here in Dallas-Fort Worth. They're the city's, what would you say, Scott, the premier theater review and news source for people in the biz? For people on
Yes,
stage?
we are the only media outlet in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that does reviews of community theaters. We review just about every show that comes through the Dallas-Fort Worth area and Denton.
Great source of information if you're in the business, if you've got an affinity for community theater. And really, yeah, I say DFW, but it's North Texas. It's pretty widespread.
We're North Texas and South Oklahoma.
Yeah, from what I could tell, it was a pretty good reach.
So we reach a long ways. And everyone, please go to the Column website. Here in the next 2 weeks, we should have an area posted for you guys to buy tickets to our Column Awards.
And that's what I wanted to mention. Yeah, we had John Garcia is the, I guess he's the head honcho.
John Garcia is the founder and CEO of the Column Awards.
He joined us out here on the Lone Star last Sunday night to do the official announcement of nominees for this year's awards, the 16th annual Column Awards honoring excellence. a la your favorite.
You made it
industry.
sound so good.
Yeah, well, it was a great show. Great show. Did it live from Broadway. Thought that was pretty classy of them.
Did it live from Broadway?
Yeah. There he is. There he is. John Garcia joining us in the past. But anyway, yeah, they came out here and they announced all of the this exhausting list of all of the awards that are up for grabs this year. And the official gala is March 22nd.
The Granville Arts Center.
Granville Arts Center. So yeah,
The
big
Granville Arts Center in Garland, Texas.
they're
Come
all
on
over
out.
YouTube. Live performances, great awards, Night of Stars.
Is
Definitely worth
this
seeing.
going to be live streamed on the Lone Star?
We're considering
Considering
it.
it.
There's some issues with rights. We got to make sure that that's all nice and legal because we're big
Rights and
fans.
logistics are
Yeah.
all we're really waiting on right now.
But I just wanted to mention that. I mean, it's a very cool organization. It was very neat to be a part of that last week. And also, we are looking at doing maybe a recurring video project with them, taking the column, the stuff that people who are familiar with that source know and love, and bringing it to video, bringing it to something that could be released a little bit episodically for quick hits on news and reviews. And
So
all
you
that
all
shit.
get ready because the scene is coming soon.
The scene, I love it.
I like the scene, don't you?
I do.
I'm glad you came up with it.
Me too. All right, so we'll go on to our main topic for the night. It's the future. It's officially 2015.
2015? We're in the future.
All right, and cameras.
Sorry.
I really need to create hotkeys from the keyboard
Yes.
down here. I need to do that.
Hotkeys, look
Next
for
time,
'em.
I'm going to create hotkeys for
Coming up next
Everything's
week
on.
on the Lone Star. Anyway,
just hotkeys.
that was my attempt at a bumper.
Hot babes and hotkeys.
So the point of this segment, I wanted to talk. We're starting off a new season here in the new year. It's 2015, and according to Back to the Future, the compendium of knowledge for what the future is, 2015 was the future. So I thought we would take a little essay, a little review of technologies in show media that we should have seen by now, and this is my chance to vent at the future and make it get its act in gear, basically. So I'll lead off the thing. What my and it was in the bumper clip there, but holograms. Where the heck are my holograms?
Okay. I don't know.
Jordan?
Well, we've seen
Explain.
We've seen some holograms in the award shows, like Grammys and stuff like that. I know that
Yep.
they brought in some.
Who's touring now? Former singer, no longer with us. Touring hologram now.
Oh wait,
Tupac?
no, no.
I've seen that, though, actually,
It's the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Garcia.
And what else?
Jerry Garcia.
Jerry Garcia. And the Gorillas, that band. They're basically they're basically a cartoon band, and they do live concerts on occasion. We've all seen the CNN hologram room, where they basically.
A viewer in the chat room
We
says
have?
Tupac, because Tupac did do a.
I did, yeah. Tupac did do a thing. I remember.
I think they did with an award show that he came in or
Yeah.
something like that.
So it's out there. It's kind of a bit. It's definitely not what you saw in Back to the Future, a free-form, freestanding,
Can you hear me?
real life. Did you get the sneeze button for
Yeah,
it?
I did. I hit the panic button. So we're good
Hey,
to go.
Shut the
I
stream
hit
down.
my mute button. Too.
Oh no, no, you're back on. You got to turn yourself back on.
Am I not on?
No, you're not.
Am I on?
No.
Can you hear me?
Can you
Hear me now?
We might be on talking to your mic. Face your mic.
I don't.
There
know.
you are.
Hey, Yahtzee.
What?
These guys. All right.
Where did you find him?
Well, I was on the corner of the Quick Trip and yeah.
So
It's what you get when you put a jib operator in charge.
he's working the microphone crane pretty well over there. So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on holograms?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be something.
Is the actor still getting
That-
paid?
There's a movie about that. The actress who signs away her life, and then they basically just digitize her and use her in movies forever, and she kind of becomes no one. Sad, really.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be implemented into different shows. Without me basically going in listing names and stuff like that. There is a business that is looking into not holograms, but almost a virtual person using with LED panels. And this is something when I was reading the document earlier, and we were discussing this at work the past week of having a LED cart that will actually be on a track that will move around on the stage. And there's a camera that's also associated with it, like a camera that does a head to toe that's also on a track. And it follows the person live, on a track.
So you've got a camera aimed at a television screen.
No. We're talking about like when we tape a person, tape the person on doing the live concert and stuff like that. And so the camera will, they'll do it in an empty room. The camera will actually follow that person, head to toe, track that person the whole time, doing whatever you're mimicking. And then on the future shows, they'll actually have the LED screen built up, and it's actually playing back with the LED screens falling on the track on stage. So the camera's actually off stage, kind of by front of house, but it's tracking on a head to toe shot going around. It's hard. Y'all guys are seeing me, but it's hard for viewers since we don't have a.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of this.
I'm doing a lot
that
of
really paints the
motions,
picture. When you say it like this, that really just.
But I don't know, because
see
the holograms require projections, and projectors are kind of going out of style right now.
I'll go. So I've been noodling this one for a while now, and this is again. You're only going to hear this on the Lone Star. This is why you have to tune into us every week.
Noodling,
Somebody write this down. Yes, that's what I call it when I'm researching on the internet diligently. I'll lock my door to my room, and I'll just start noodling. And they'll be like, "What are you doing there?" "I'm noodling. Leave me alone." And nobody bothers me. It's just... All right, nanotechnology.
What about it?
Walk with me on this. So what if we had a future not too far from now, a good future, not a future like 2015 that's kind of lame, but where flying robot nanites, these tiny little robots, autonomous drones, if you will.
As long as they stay under 500 feet.
What if you could have a cloud of nanites that the cloud, like each individual one pinged off its neighbors, and that's how they could tell where they all were in a grid form. And basically, each nanite had a tiny, tiny, tiny RGB LED on it. And these become flying pixels in real space. So they could align themselves up according to whatever 3D camera.
So basically, all you're about through this whole show is getting us fired and having robots take over.
Let's review tonight. We've figured out how to fire the camera operators.
I'm already fired.
The lighting gel companies.
I misplayed a video.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Now you're coming up with nanotechnology, which could most likely
fire the talent. So coming soon.
No need for lights anymore because a nanopixel is going to.
We're going to basically hologram y'all here in this bit, and then hologram me.
How do you even know we are real?
Yeah, that's a good point. Fade us out, Jordan. Okay. You don't have to. No, I don't want to break your brain. All right, so the holograms. That's where I'm thinking it's 2015. For the love of God, build a hologram. A real hologram, not an LED.
Are you saying like something like the president can go visit different cities without being there?
I'm talking like right now there should be a vapor in this room with projection going onto it that we could all stand around and go, hologrammy things. So that's where we're going to shoot the Death Star, is right there. We should cover that port up.
There's a movie, and I forgot what the movie was, but...
Trying to fix it. It's not fixing.
I forgot what the movie was, but I seriously think with the multi-million-dollar porn industry that
oh my God, if we had porn...
They're going to be the ones that... Well, they
will probably. He's right. I knew you were going to. They'll come up with it first.
They're going to basically start out with a virtual reality porn. Of course, they probably got some already, but also the hologram porn, where you can be in your living room or den or your bedroom, and the girl will be projected on the bed and do all these mimics and everything. I think that's what it's going to get to.
You going to noodle that later? Okay.
He's going to noodle something.
Okay, does anybody else have any? I don't think anybody else forwarded any ideas on this topic in the show notes.
Well, because this topic sucks.
It's a great topic.
I had a bunch of ideas.
Sucky topic. Do you know why this is a sucky topic? Because it's putting people out of work.
Innovation puts everybody out of work who doesn't change with the times.
2007.
See, that's why we're telling you people this now, so you can get it in your brain and figure out a business model moving forward.
2007 crash in the market. How many people lost jobs?
Nearly everyone who went unemployed.
How many churches automated all of their
It's there's still
Every time
let's
innovation
not
happens,
let's not say churches, but the biggest person that's going automated is news. Broadcast news is fully going automated
I've
from
totally
a fully
lost my feed.
from a fully automated master control to camera off. So
I have to
anybody.
put a splitter in here. You're driving me.
I'm hearing y'all fine, but I think the news industry is where it's hurting because they don't make that much money off ad sales.
I think if you look at it, CNN was the
Ad sales.
first company to do it. You're right. CNN was the first company to automate every camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is still ridiculous when you see a giant robotic studio camera. Have you ever seen these things? It's like a full-on
It's
pedestal
crazy.
camera, but it just drives itself around. Like, just get a pan.
And the thing is, it's like
camera.
I feel like the more we get automated, the more dangerous it gets because we're putting our lives and everything in control of a computer system. We're putting rigging in control of like trusses and stuff like that, moving trusses, moving cameras, whatever.
Does that happen?
Yeah, all in the focus.
You've got like
of-
automated flies, I guess. Like set.
yeah.
Ooh.
Well, a lot of people do. There's a couple of companies out there right now making control units for rigging that are all computer based, and you can tie them into your light
I
board.
mean, there's gonna be
Yeah.
there's gonna be a person that still has to program, but like with a lighting person, there's still gonna be a person that programs the lights. But once you're in show mode, boom, everything can run off timecode or SMPTE or MIDI or anything like that.
Well, and if you really look at it,
But I see failure happening. I see when something happens, they're gonna I wish we had a person standing by
Man,
that.
I'll speak to that. Like, I do a lot of work as a facility engineer now, and the most frustrating thing in the world to me are these systems that people designed on the cheap. I wouldn't say on the cheap. They're good systems. They're very well built, but they were designed with automation in mind, and there's no back door. There's no manual interface. There's no override. So, as has happened several times in the course of my career, some critical control component goes out, and you're done. You're going to have to fly in a replacement part from the year 2009 and hope it works. And then somebody's going to have to program it who's like, going to find Prospector Sam to come in and, I remember when they were building these AMX systems back in the 90s.
Crestron
it's
is
awful.
the
must have
best
to-
thing in the world.
Like, give me a
I
patch
love me
cable.
Some
Just-
Crestron.
So, I mean, automation is not always great. You need to have redundancy if you're going
Well,
to have automation.
you know,
Automation is a lazy man's
I must
engineering.
say, I know of a news station here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm not going to drop names, but I know of a news station that they're fully automated, but they have people standing by just in case something crashes. These people are getting paid to stand there just in case a camera or the switch or anything like that goes crazy. They hit an override toggle and they can go
Bet
right.
it's that
seems-
newfangled station. Yeah.
Oh, those guys.
Just
This
yeah,
is-
the new one.
Well, I would think
KEP.
you would have to have a certain amount of manual, like, operator input to not risk your license. I mean,
Well,
what if your teleprompter just starts swearing all of a sudden? You're like, oh, I'm sorry, Grandma. You know,
And
like
you
you
get the
can't just-
Anchorman effect where he goes,
You say that, but
There you
with SMPTE and MIDI, it can go to the point of being totally automated and just one person sitting at an emergency stop.
But I've seen like anchors basically have their own teleprompter scroller. You know, usually back
Yeah,
in the
so they
day, it
just-
was a person that was actually the teleprompter person be standing in the back running it. But now there's a jog wheel that the anchor will hold and do their own timing.
Yeah. That's where I got my start in news, was the teleprompter guy. Did the 8 a.m. shift doing this.
I never did the news.
We could say
Well, I like
something
this, though.
about
We
that.
kind of took this topic and we went a little bit off the rails from where I thought it was going, but it was kind of neat to talk about. We went from a Back to the Future kind of look at the state of the industry to a Terminator kind of look at the future of show tech, where there's going to be robot cameras marauding through studios and murdering people. That's a very interesting outlook on things you guys have. I thought you might come up with something like wireless power, Scott, as an electric.
Well,
that might be.
We already have that.
Do you? I mean, you know that it exists.
It's out there.
Do you get to use it ever? I mean,
I might have something to say on this Back to the Future topic-ish. You go ahead, though.
Go on.
me? You?
I'm sorry.
You want me to go? Or you?
No,
Me?
it's Scott.
Is it me?
No, he was already moving on. If you want to go backwards, go backwards.
Oh, where are we moving on to? Never mind.
No, we're still talking.
Okay.
We're just riffing. We're just jamming. You know,
Yeah.
that's what we do.
Well, I think that I've been intrigued by more people on their own travel. Like, I'm a big travel freak. I love traveling and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I'm more amazed by people's own YouTube channels that they create about traveling. And I think that's the way we're going to go, is like get away from like the travel networks on broadcasts and go to YouTube.
Democratization
honestly,
of media and
And I honestly
disintermediation.
think in the whole future, probably within less than 5 years, that the satellite, you know, I don't want to name drop it at DirecTV, AT&T, Verizon, Fios, all that stuff, is all going to go away. Especially when here in like Dallas Fort Worth, when Google gets here and drops their internet here.
Dude, Google Fiber, how awesome would that be? Hey, come to Dallas, you guys.
Yes, Google, if you're listening to
Oh
us,
my God.
please drop in Dallas Fort Worth. We're patiently waiting for you to come here. I really want you guys to get here.
Now, my internet service provider has been taking good care of me. They've been having some issues lately. And,
Have they?
you know, I mean, like all
Have
people
they
do.
now?
But I mean, they're doing
they
very
just
good
heard-
delivering
they
my
just heard
10
that?
megabit service here.
Richard,
and I'm out in the...
They just heard that, and we just not.
And we're off. Yeah. No, but I mean, seriously, Google, how about 1,000 megabit service to your property? 1,000 megabit. That's a 100 time faster connection. I can't even imagine what I would do with that kind of bandwidth.
Okay, so
Porn.
That's the future is all porno. Good night, everybody.
going back to the topic that we discussed about, you know, job losses and everything with the technology. This goes back to
More time for
another chat room.
That was bad.
Another question that was derived in our chat room on the Frontier Television website, talking about unions. What will happen to unions when the technology advances? Because, you know, most of these states like New York and Vegas all have unionized.
Most of these states, like New York and Vegas,
Vegas,
have unionized.
Let's see. New York and Vegas are about the only two places left with unions that have power. Dallas, Texas itself is a right-to-work state. Hate to say that, but it is, which means that the unions here really have very little power.
Only in certain places that they do.
Like work.
IATSE, our local here in Dallas, has control over the Majestic. They have control over
Gaylord.
the city music hall. It's Fair Park. I don't know. Gaylord is
Well, Gaylord-
Fort Worth.
Okay. I just know that, like...
Gaylord is PSAV anyways.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of... the automation part and stuff like that. The unions have killed themselves by making rules and laws that discredit them wholeheartedly. Like whenever I take a tour to Las Vegas, I have to pay a guy to sit behind my soundboard guy. And all he does is sits there on a computer and plays.
Yeah.
I have to pay a guy to sit behind my lighting guy, and he sits on his computer and watches movies. I have to pay a guy to walk around with my rigging guy. So now I've paid my 4 main guys who do my rigging, my sound, my lighting, my sets. I've paid these guys thousands of dollars, and I'm paying another $4,000 to the union for their 4 guys. You know,
Yeah,
unions
I
are killing
I've
themselves.
usually been on that side of the equation too, and that's why unions frustrate me. It just seems like they're more of an impediment to production.
There are some good things that the unions do.
Yeah, and you can't discount that. There's
No.
definitely some good sides to unions that keep the workplace tolerable for a lot of people. I feel like there's got to be a better solution, and I think part of it's because we're seeing it's more of a stretch for them to do what they do. And
with that question, do I think automation is going to kill the union? No, I don't. I think
now you're going to have to pay a robot to stand behind your lighting
The
operation.
union's going to kill the union.
Yeah, well,
They're going to keep making these dumb mistakes and ripping people off, and people are just going to get tired of doing shows there, and they'll find someplace else to go.
Like Sundance.
Look at the Majestic. The Majestic is one of the most beautiful theaters in in Dallas.
In downtown, yeah, okay. Yeah.
And they do 4 shows a year.
It's amazing venue. I did a concert in there, and it's really amazing. It's,
That's right. You did Carrie Job, didn't you?
Yeah,
But isn't that it's a beautiful space? It's very well maintained.
It has this history to it, this older style to it that is amazing, and it just doesn't get used that much, I don't think. I mean,
it's a sad fact, but I think the union's going to end up killing itself. Robotics is not going to kill it. The union themselves.
The union is basically going to hang itself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Any
the future.
other questions from online?
No, that actually came from Harvin as well.
Oh.
Harvin, thanks for being with us tonight, buddy. We're going to have you on the show real soon. You just keep watching.
If he comes down here on a weekend, on a Saturday, Sunday, we'll definitely bring him on the show on a Sunday night. He can be a VIP.
Ooh, yeah.
Very
live
important.
studio audience.
Or a VIJ, a very important jackass.
I love the fact that we can see the questions ourselves.
We could if I was wearing my glasses, but...
I'm sorry you're blind.
Yeah, anyway.
So we should probably tell our viewers where to go.
Well, if you're not already there, and if you're into this live stream thing, you're watching us at frontiertelevision.com. Over on the left-hand side of the screen, there's going to be, I guess that would be camera left. Anyway, there's a little chat live window that you can open up our, I don't know. You can open the chat live window and use our web-based IRC client to talk to us here. We like to keep the stream up so we can see the comments coming in and talk back.
New Braunfels represent.
New Braunfels.
Harvin, the Drapist, is from
I'm
New
going to promise never do that for the rest of the series.
Hey, Harvin. Go hang some...
And if you're on your iPad or your iPhone or other smart device of choice, you can go to frontiertelevision.com/mobile for a slimmed down view that's just got the video screen and the chat room all on one page for you. Make it a little bit easier for your watching the Lone Star on the go. And I guess with that is probably a good time to talk about, go into our next spot, and it's actually an advertising spot. Yeah, I'm glad the future of television isn't smell-o-vision.
Holy crap,
that's another bit.
I gotta quit eating Mexican before I come over here. I love Texas, I really do.
So while we've got your rapt attention, we'd like to throw out the offer. If you're a business owner, if you're a small company, or even a large corporation like ETC, and you'd like to look into advertising opportunities here on the Lone Star, you can actually advertise with us on this show, on Showtech Show, on this network, frontiertelevision.com. Send us an inquiry at adsales@frontiertelevision.com. We'll give you our rates. They're a great way to reduce your advertising cost versus traditional media, which has terrible returns on investment. We offer a much more targeted audience base. We offer much more distributed. You'll pay a fraction of what it costs to get on your local late night cable television, and you'll potentially reach the entire flippin' planet. So do look into advertising in the new media with a Lone Star, competitive, very effective ad rates, target audience, and we'd love to have you so we can talk you up here among ourselves and our peers. So that's a quickie. We'll go back into the show now. And the next topic that we have up, it's Valentine's Day was yesterday. We're shooting on the 15th here in February, and we wanted to do a little love talk, something girly. Okay. Scott said, I want to do something that really accentuates my feminine side. I said, Scott, the floor is yours, buddy.
You dumbasses.
So in this topic, we're going to be talking about the challenges and what, I don't know, I've probably been lucky most of my life to have been involved in the
style
same...
guy.
Wow.
Dude, it's like co-hosting with someone with Tourette's. I don't know.
No, Style Guy just jumped into our chat room.
Oh,
this is
no glasses. But anyway, the point of this topic tonight, in honor of Valentine's Day, we wanted to talk about thoughts the crew has on maintaining a relationship or finding romantic interest or involvement when you're living life as a roadie, when you're on the road all the time, when you're doing gigs, the country, all over the place. How do you hold it together? How do you end up not being, alone and pathetic? And Scott, you don't have to comment if you don't want to, because it doesn't really apply to you. But
I'm the only one that's toured.
oh, we've all been on the road here.
Thanks,
Where
Scooter,
have you
for joining. Scooter.
Not like a musical
Branson
tour.
does not count.
Branson counts.
Branson does not count. Have you seen the show?
You try looking for love in Branson, Missouri.
Branson does not count. Sorry, Branson, but Branson
No,
does
I mean,
not
whatever
count.
your gig is, I think we've all, whether it's, going from city to city on a bus or a plane or in and out of town, even being a road warrior, someone who's got a gig where they're on the road more than they are at home in the home office. That takes its toll on your personal relationships, on your ability to date, to hold down something serious.
Yeah.
Jordan, jump in on
Okay,
this one.
all
man.
right. So I'm a single guy and not married. Of course,
He's single
if I'm
and
single.
not married.
I'm single and not married. But I don't know. It's sometimes I don't have time for that. But I don't know. It's quickie love. It's almost like
Whoa.
airline passenger pilots and stuff like that. So
Branson sucks.
Did you read the one above?
I did. Yeah.
Is that you?
Yes, it is me. I'm getting tired of looking over this monitor, so I created my own account just so I could read this.
Here I got excited because I thought somebody was watching. Once again, we know. We know that's not true.
Scott, it's the internet.
yeah,
There's
it's
nobody
the
out
internet.
there. What's wrong with you, man?
It's Richard's channel. We don't want to.
The internet is
I made my
amazing.
own internet TV channel.
See, it's okay. I did have a relationship. I was dating this girl at the time when I was doing some travel shows, and for me, it was all about I'm making money so we can go out on dates when I'm back with you and stuff like that. But for her,
I'm working
and-
like a dog 90 hours a week so I can spend it on you.
You two did mini tours, right?
Yes, we did.
So you were
Many
home.
or mini?
Mini.
Mini.
So
You weren't out for 6 months. You weren't out for a year. You weren't out for 3 years.
No,
True. Okay, so there's a level
Chime
to
in.
this that you
Chime
can
in,
speak
Scott.
to. I
Because
mean,
we're-
So I'm just trying to catch the gist here on where, because if I was only out for 2 weeks and then come home, relationship's easy.
well, it's not how long you're out. It's how long you're not in. It's the short downtime between gigs. If you're always out on the road, if you come home and it's all you can do to sleep for 24 hours before you get back up, and you're not exactly hitting the bars and meeting women and. Are you? I don't know. Maybe, maybe maybe Scott's a playa. Maybe that's how he rolls. Teach us, oh learned one.
Scooter has quit.
Oh,
He
Scooter.
must have got mad at the chat. Nobody agreed with his Branson sucks thing. So, and Harvin goes in. It's for old people.
It's for lovers.
But then Star Guy says
Arkansas.
they have a nice pyro show.
They do. Decent pyro show.
Over right by
Okay.
Waxy
I'm going to
O'Shea's.
marshal this back
So-
on topic. Though.
so-
And the
wait,
okay.
So, okay. I was married when I toured. I was unmarried when I toured. So I've done it both ways.
Whoa.
Yeah. What was the question?
Okay, so
I was like, he
was
doesn't
wondering
know what
where
he's
the
saying.
fuck I was going.
no. So
Dude,
no.
The FAA is watching.
The FAA is watching
I hate the FAA.
because the FCC controls the airspace.
My
and
F
the
word just
FAA.
flew out of my mouth. But
No,
shot.
we're saying how do you maintain a balanced relationship with your wife while you're on the road?
How was it? You said you were married when you toured. Did that
And you were
did it take a
unmarried.
toll,
It
or was
just-
she just down with it?
no, it was easy. You tend to come home a little bit more often if you get a 2-week break instead of staying in Seattle. You come home for 2 weeks, but no. Touring with a wife was easy. Touring with a girlfriend was a pain in the ass.
Maybe that was my thought process
Why
going
was
into
it
this.
a pain in the ass?
touring with a girlfriend, because the girlfriend tends to know that you're out doing things.
Like what? Like doing things like.
Well, when you're out touring, you're
Details.
hanging out with people.
Yeah, you're hanging out with your road crew and stuff like that. And after a show, you go get beers, but then they start speculating.
Women don't take that well.
I hit the drop button.
Thank you. Women don't take that well. Girlfriends don't take that well. My wife, she took it well. I was out touring for 3 years with my wife, and you know, I had a good time. I enjoyed my time out, and definitely there were moments of there's always moments where you're challenged.
Yeah.
To
I guess
stay-
I've been in the same committed relationship for most of my touring time, I guess that I'll call it my touring time. But, and I don't really feel that it was ever harmful to the relationship. It was difficult to me personally because I would want to be home more versus if I didn't really have any strings attached. I could imagine being like, yeah, great, we'll stay in California for a couple of weeks. We'll hang out here, check this scene out
So,
or whatever. But it
for
was
me,
like
if-
all I could do to get
yeah.
home. And so, but Jordan, you're coming from the other end of the spectrum where
I am
Just-
single. I'm not tied down.
right,
And
yeah,
I
you
can
don't
spend
have
a
anything
few
calling
other
you
days.
home, and you're just trying to get something consistent,
Yeah.
maybe. Don't get me wrong, Jordan's got no problem hooking up like crazy on the side and all that, right, man? But
Well-
but finding love,
Dun, dun, dun.
yeah, right.
No, it goes to the point of I think. Let me see. When I was traveling, you know, when we were traveling a lot and stuff like that, I did have a girlfriend, but she became like she wanted me to fly home when I was during work because she wanted to see me, and it's like I think in order to have
And this was before holograms, right?
before holograms.
Okay.
Didn't even use Skype, but or whatever. But I think what we did is you need to find somebody that's compatible that knows that if this is your life, this is what you do, this is your job, this is what brings the money to the kitchen table and stuff like that. It allows her to buy a nice purse and to have a bed to sleep in and like electricity and stuff like that. And I think, if you can find a person that understands that, it's like, yeah, I'll probably be gone for 3 weeks at a time or 4 weeks at a time or 6 weeks at a time. But when I come home, I'm going to spend 100% of my time devoted to you. I'm going to spend that time loving you and stuff like that. I think that's what will help out in a relationship if you're
So, ladies,
traveling.
you can write us Jordan at Showtech Show. No.
Yeah.
Jordan at FrontierTelevision.com.
All the single techie ladies that want to
Yeah. The single
share
techie ladies.
all the single techie ladies that want to share a bunk on a travel bus.
Did we buy Showtech Show yet?
.com?
Yeah.
No.
So don't
Working
write to
on it.
showtechshow.com. They will have no idea what the heck you're talking
Be
about.
like, hey, I'm interested in
Dear
the Jordan guy,
showtechshow.com, I'm looking
and-
for love. Do you want to buy a light or what? What is
and
this?
he says blah 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 blah. And so,
But if you know anybody that fits that bill, Jordan, we'll hook you
But-
up. Just
yeah.
send us a tweet, or we'll have our contact information at the end of the show. So
yeah, at some point, or we'll have it, or even on the next show. Watch, listen, everything. But right now, I'm single, and when I do travel, it's just no worries, have fun.
now, when you do travel, I mean, it's tough. In this industry, there's not a lot of downtime. When you're on the road, you're pretty much flat out, from what I experienced.
It all depends on the show that you're on. When I did concerts are easier.
Okay.
From an LD standpoint,
Well, everything's easier from an LD standpoint.
well,
but-
it was. From an LD standpoint, literally, I would walk in, I'd point, somebody else would.
Kyle, you got this show set yet? All right, man. I'm gonna be on the trailer.
Is that truss up? Come on, let's go. And in most of these halls, you're not allowed to touch anything. So
So
it's a heck of a lot easier. Me as an LD, I'm sitting out at a desk with 1,500 hot women sitting behind me screaming because they want to come hang with the band.
Did you ever work that angle?
okay, so I've actually had that happen.
You always work that angle.
Did you?
So
Oh, look at you.
I've actually had that happen to me.
I've
when
always-
I
I've always
New Year's
worked,
Eve.
Hold,
Like auctions as well.
hold on. Wouldn't you work that angle?
Scott, I'm
definitely.
happily married with children.
Wouldn't you work that angle? Don't lie. You want us to tell the truth? Don't lie.
No, so okay,
I feel like I'm on hardball.
hardball. With
Well,
Scott
speak-
Davis.
It's because my wife's not going to watch this. Yours good.
She probably won't.
I know that.
Okay, go ahead, Jordan.
Since I'm the
Nice way to get out of the hot seat there, my
Yeah.
friend.
Since I'm the active account on the Showtech Show Twitter, that his wife does follow the Twitter accounts on Showtech Show.
Good girl. All right.
So yeah,
That's the.
she's following.
See, and that's
the
what's
Showtech
important.
Show.
You find someone who
So I'll-
supports your
who
crazy
supports you
ass
no
endeavors.
matter what.
So I'll post to that here in a little bit. Anyways,
No, but
okay, like somebody asked if I ever cheated while I was on the road.
Okay.
How could you not?
it happens. all
If
the
you're
time.
out for 3 years straight,
I guess that's the difference between shows and whatever corporate crap I was working. Because, dude, I felt like I was cheating if I got a hamburger at some point during the day. I was like, oh god, I just want to eat and sleep. Maybe every couple of days, hit the restroom, and then go back home and die into my pillow a little bit. So I guess when you're wandering out there. So I was thinking my envisioning this topic was you're on the road. It's hard to get into a committed relationship.
So-
but your perspective is actually when you're on the road, it adds.
when you're on the
difficulty.
road, there is no committed relationship.
It's
there
like-
can't be.
it's
It
like
just kind of bombs
for,
that. Huh?
Well, you know,
for airline pilot. Okay, let me time on this. Like airline pilots, they have reputation of, even if they're married, but sleeping around. People that work on a cruise ship, the captains and the officers, stuff like that, they are gone for 8 months, 10 months at a time.
We all saw that documentary,
And-
The Love Boat.
The Love Boat, yes.
Yeah,
That's a true documentary. It's a
it's a
reality
chilling
TV.
look, really, at the inside of the industry.
But
I was in
there's
the
a
Navy for years.
there's a certain
I mean,
there's
I
a
think
certain
that-
desire in everybody that if you're like 8 to 10 months away or however long away, a long time from your your significant other, but you can't ever get physically, you have to have that somehow relieved. And now the Showtech Show moves to sex talk. Well,
I know. I was like, I'm really glad we didn't put a camera on you
No,
tonight.
I
It's
know.
very like late night love lines with Jordan. No. You kind of have to have that.
But I think that it's something. It's natural that would happen. It's a natural thing. I remember being on a show. I'm not going to mention names, but I remember being on a show, and there was a guy that was
Mention
married.
names. Just mention fake names.
His name was Harvin.
I'm sorry, I just read what Harvin wrote about you.
He
Aren't
basically
you glad you're blind?
I guess so.
he basically was married, but then all this tech, all the people that worked the show went out for some beers and had a good time, and he actually did like sleep with another girl that night, and fooled around, but it's what happens. It's the animal inside of us.
I would just like to say I was a good guy. Still am.
It was the best night of your life, though.
Yeah. I've always had kind of a bad, tawdry relationship with alcohol, apparently. So, yeah.
Especially when it's on the company dime.
No, that's not true. I've never had a company that would pay for that. Be all right. But
I had somebody pay one time.
it's so sad.
It's
Not the music roadie
okay,
world,
so
is it,
how?
Scott?
No.
I think we've got too much corporate on the show. We do need to bring in some more grizzled road techs who've done some some cooler stuff. I mean, we can talk pretty well about technology and trends and things like that, but there is a side of this business that I don't think I can fully speak to.
I think there's a big side of this business that neither you nor Jordan could really relate to.
I'd like to learn about it though, and I think our viewing audience would as well.
Well, and like I said, there's been tours that I've been on that are smaller, book tours, stuff like that. You still end up meeting people out on the tour, and relationships form. Whether you sleep with them or not, that's neither here nor there. A relationship will form. To this day, there are people from the Hay House tour that I am still best friends with because we toured for as long as we did with each other.
I met you chuckleheads on the road.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the thing. It's like we have
There it
all
is.
met each other on the doing.
We've never slept
road
together.
shows. But
We've
we
slept
That
in the
I
same
know.
room.
Yeah.
we slept in the same room.
I was pretty far gone in Fredericksburg.
I
But-
held your hair while you
There you
puked in the toilet.
It was intimate. It was.
It
intimate.
was. I love this man.
So awkward. Did you say you lit a book tour?
I lit several book tours.
No joke.
How does a lighting a book tour
That must
work?
have been sick.
Well, one of the book tours was for Dr. Oz.
Okay.
That's a
Is
fairly
he a
easy.
sex
Probably some
therapist?
cameras on that one.
No, it was a 3-day conference that we did as our book tour, where we went around to different cities and he discussed health topics. He had about 5 people with him.
I could. Okay, so this is more like a touring conference to promote the book.
Yeah.
Not him at a Barnes
Yeah,
and Noble
and-
signing
and-
copies.
And
Harvin
Because I
comes-
just pictured like a little like
when I
DJ truss over him with
gonna
like
say Harvin
blinking
comes in and
red
says it
and
was the
green
best night of my
lights.
it
life.
happened.
No job is too big. Most jobs are too small.
I
Scott
toured,
Davis.
I toured for several years with a company called Hay House Publishing, and literally what I would do is run lighting and sound and be the master rigger for their book tours. So Dr. Wayne Dyer, Dr. Oz, who was the dog whisperer?
Julio.
So there were like
So
there,
racist.
there were
So I
like
don't know.
15, 20 of these authors that we would tour around the country with. So one week I might be out with Dr. Dyer. The next week I might be out with Cheryl Richardson. The next week maybe Dr. Oz. And that was my full-time gig for 3 years. We also did 3 to 5 big corporate events, which were week-long conventions called the I Can Do It conventions, where all the artists came together. But that tour, I was never home.
Yeah.
I was never home.
Jordan, do you have something funny?
I'm just reading the chat.
Don't do that. Those guys will screw you up every time.
Caesar Chavez. I think he's
Caesar Chavez, Julio.
No, it's
Where was I getting
it's Caesar
news?
Milan.
Cesar
or
Milan, that was his
Milan.
name.
I don't know why Harvin says Caesar Chavez. I think Chavez is
Che
somebody else.
Guevara.
He was on the last I Can Do It.
I've actually crossed paths with Caesar Milan up in Chicago when I was doing some traveling stuff with a client. He's pretty short,
Pretty generic.
But like I said, as far as relationships go,
but he's good with dogs.
Molly, Adrian, Nancy, all the people from Hay House, we became a huge family.
Do they follow you on Twitter?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Point them our way. Showtech show.
What I'm upset is the times that I've been to some of Scott's shows, that especially at Cabaret, and he's never got me to go out with some of these girls that are in the play.
Ooh, do you want to get into that? Go down that rabbit hole?
It's like I'm a single guy, and it's like I have needs.
I think what Jordan wants is like some sort of guarantee, some sort of something that would get Scott brought up on sexual harassment charges.
Now, as most people,
If you really want this part in this play, kid, you're gonna have to take care of my buddy over here.
as most people know, I'm the president of the Runway Theater.
Okay. Up in Grapevine. Great
up
little
in
venue.
Grapevine.
Check them out.
The shows that he is talking about are shows that were done at Runway. And I don't mix business with pleasure,
Especially not the pleasure of him, because that's weird.
because that would really make me feel odd.
But given the opportunity, would you? I don't know. I see what you're saying. That probably does cross the line. Would you wingman?
That-
would
no.
you? Would you be like, "Hey, this is my buddy Jordan"?
At
'Cause
that
he's
theater,
not a drapist.
At that theater, it would cross the line.
I understand
ethically.
because his level there, level of authority there, he can.
That's
do
true
it.
too.
If-
This isn't like a coworker situation. This is a
No,
this is like a
this
boss.
I'm the
Yeah.
president of the board.
Yeah, I get.
Probably want to avoid that.
And
2 cents.
Now, I must say, if you weren't president of the board and you're just the lighting designer or something like that, that was it.
Just some lowly position.
Would you
like
hook a man up?
the
well, that got me out of trouble for a little bit.
Woo! Do you guys want to continue on Roadie Romance anymore, or do you think we've
I think that's all.
hammer this one to the
Happy
ground?
Valentine's Day, whatever. I think that's it.
Okay. Well, do you want to start playing us out there, Keyboard Cat? We'll talk about what's coming up next week on the Showtech Show, live on FrontierTelevision.com.
Live, damn it.
Live, damn it.
You
That
know,
should be our tagline.
Yeah, we were on the air for an hour and 25
This
minutes.
is a decent-sized show, I think. That's going to be
That's
a...
decent. You know, that's a good. I
And
mean,
not one fucking person watched.
hey, no, there's people.
One
watching.
person watched at
No,
least.
there's like two. There's like I think there's.
Oh,
two.
there's like two.
You guys are trendsetters. I don't know if you realize this.
Two,
or not.
damn it!
But you're ahead of the curve.
There's just people just coming. right
Thanks,
out
you
there.
two.
Next week, join us again live. We're going to be talking. The topic for the night is going to be budgeting for a live show, and we're going to talk about things we've observed, money items that producers always tend to forget. Those little things that somehow just miss the planning phase altogether
Like
until
a
it's
fan.
A fan would be good. Food. Anyway, lots of ideas next week. Join us, won't you? That's all we've got for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next week on the Lone Star.
Bye bye, guys. Bye bye.